just do the whole thing over again.
I could.
I mean,
I'm not gonna.
well, okay, but you could
cut it in half.
It's a bike, though. You can't. Well, we could cut a bike in half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that bicycle factories, when they have a frame that goes south, they just cut it in half and they make it? I'm sure they do actually. Right?
They probably destroy it somehow.
They re-smelt it, and you know who smelt it? Dealt it. That's right.
You smelt it.
Yeah. Hey everybody, this is Matt, and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching our very spooky Halloween happy hour.
That's why I wore this shirt.
Because you're going as Brad Ango for Halloween.
Because it's Halloween-y colors.
Yeah. I am on low speed today, Chris. Did you know that? I mean, you knew that.
I did know that. I did know that.
Man,
yeah, I saw your post on Instagram or Facebook, probably Facebook.
Yeah,
and went, oh, okay.
It is possible that I had too much red wine last night.
The story that you told me.
I'm gonna tell you again.
Okay.
So everybody can know the story.
Okay.
So I went over to a friend of mine is moving from Colorado, and I fear I will never see him again. And it's a guy that I've known for a long, long time, and he's like he and his wife. I actually married Chris and Renee. So yeah, I was the what do you call it?
MC?
Yeah, the MC. Yeah, yeah. I was sort of like Flava Flav, but I got to say I now pronounce you man and wife. Boy. Yeah. So that didn't happen, but that'd have been funny if it did.
It would have been funny.
Yeah. So anyway, they're moving out of state, and it's a bummer because I won't. I like I said, you know how it goes. You go, oh well, I'll come back, but you just don't ever see those people.
Well, you're allowed to go there.
Well, yeah, no, I do know that the highway works both ways, but I guess what I'm getting at is
maybe
if you have friends that you don't see every day, and you would be bummed out if they moved to Nebraska, maybe you should give them a call. It's Halloween. It's a holiday. So anyway,
it is. It's the first of the major holidays.
It is. You're right. You're absolutely right. So anyhow, I go over to Chris Renee's, and I'm helping him load up stuff to put in the like the pod storage things. So we get there, and it's like I'm moving stuff, and then we go to lunch. It didn't take very long to move all this stuff. They had a lot of it done.
4 armoires.
Yeah.
A couple water beds.
Yep. So then we went to this barbecue place that was really good, and
that's that place that they like.
Yes. Do you remember the name of the place, Carrie?
Six Capital.
Six
Capital Brewing.
It was great, and they had Shiner Bock, and they had a bunch of stuff. They had we were having like a wing challenge that day for if you can eat a bunch of these wildly hot things. Anyway,
did you take them up on that?
Hell
no.
But I did watch a guy do it.
Okay.
So
the same.
Yeah, it's almost the same. So I sat around and I was.
Oh, Renee tried it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm sure her number 2s are going to be really amusing this morning. So I basically sat around drinking beer all afternoon yesterday. Then, because we're not going to be home for Halloween tonight, we're going over to Jim's house. I wanted to get some candy for there's 3 little rascals who live in our neighborhood that I wanted to get candy for. And they are my drummer's daughters, and they live like 2 blocks. You know where Mike lives. They live like 2 blocks from my house. And so they always come over and do the Halloween parade or whatever, whatever it is.
And candy's a big deal for them.
Candy's a big deal. So I loaded them up on candy. And so then I sat around and drank beer with Mike for a little bit. Then I got home and drank beer for a little bit. And then I decided, you know what? I'm just drinking way too much beer. Wine would be better.
He was getting all Hemingway.
I was. And so Carrie Ann went and got some wine, and I just sat there and drank and was typing and typing and typing. And I was supposed to go look at some taxidermy, and I did anyway. But this morning, I'm like, ugh, this was not the best idea I've ever had. But, that's sometimes what happens. So that's why I'm on low speed today.
You live and you learn.
Yeah, you live.
I forgot about the taxidermy comment.
Yeah.
The comment.
Oh, yeah, Carrie Ann. So anyhow, how about you? What did you do yesterday?
Spent as much time outside as I could.
It was a beautiful day.
It was
yesterday.
gorgeous outside. Yep. I goofed around in the garage. I goofed around in the driveway. I did not rake a single leaf.
Yeah,
that's a bunch of bunk. I'm hoping that a youngster will come by and say, "Hey, Mister, I'll do your leaves for $10."
The beeve is going to come over and
that's
help
what I'm
you
hoping
out.
for. And I'll say, "No, you won't.
Did
You'll do
you-
it for $20."
Did you ever
Here you go.
burn leaves?
No.
There was a time when that's a you know how they say that certain smells are linked to memory.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was growing up in Illinois, burning leaves was just something that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love the burning leaves smell
Mm-hmm.
and like raking up leaves into big piles and you jump in them like a wild hanyak or whatever that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
you
that
still
was
had to collect them though, right?
oh yeah.
I'm all for something on the ground.
Yeah.
Like,
Just set the yard on
yeah,
fire.
maybe.
But I bet you but that was in like 1975.
And it was
Uh-huh.
out in bumfuck Iowa.
Oh no, I mean I remember this happening in town.
In Denver?
No. In town in East Moline there was
Yeah.
because there was a bunch of hills and trees and stuff. And it always smelled like burning leaves. It's something that I just really and there's no way you can't do that now. I don't know if anybody burns leaves anymore, but
Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah, it's
Have you ever-
just like our sawdust conundrum?
yeah, what
What do you do with it?
Yeah.
You could take the horse people will pick them up and line the stables with it
Mm-hmm.
for free.
Hmm. I like the idea of a big 55-gallon drum and a road flare and shooting compressed air into it and really get a good fire.
That
going.
really seems
Speaking
like the best solution.
I think so. Speaking of compressed air, we have a super chat. Actually, before we even started, we had a super chat from Manic Mechanic.
One
No.
moment, please.
Zither Beast.
Give me a second.
Okay. I think it was Zither Beast. Asked, what is the minimum size compressor needed for
Air compressor.
air compressor for paint or something like that.
Okay.
My rule is the biggest thing you can possibly get is the minimum.
That's a
you
good rule.
should get. But that's
yeah.
not.
Well,
no one
I
wants
would-
to hear that.
No, I would.
It's Slacker Deluxe.
Slacker Deluxe.
Slacker Deluxe.
Sorry, Slacker Deluxe.
Sorry, it took me a minute. My computer wanted to do an update.
No,
I have a 15-gallon tank
Mhm.
compressor, the world's loudest compressor.
All of those
And
oilless air compressors.
They're
are
really
stupid
loud. Yeah. So first of all, I would say don't get an oilless one because they're really loud.
Yeah, if it has a belt, get that.
Well, if it has a belt, but even if it doesn't, I guess they do. Anyway, my 15-gallon is barely enough to do guitar bodies
Okay.
and necks. I'll start spraying, and it'll kick on about halfway through a body, and then it'll run, and it does okay. You could maybe get away with a 10-gallon. But I
One of
would
those
try and
pancake
step it
ones?
up.
No way.
Those things don't even hardly run a nail gun.
Work for a nail gun.
Yeah, they just run constantly, and you need consistent pressure too. You don't want it to be catching up and draining down to 20.
No.
So yeah,
I'd say air compressor is one of those tools where, man, the bigger the one you get, the more happy you're going to be because you don't want to buy it 2 or 3 times. So.
No, you really don't. And they last forever if you buy a good one.
I remember that one that I had, the one that we use, I bought years ago, and it was like $20 more than the next size down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, this is a no-brainer. The only downside was all the other ones were 110. So you could have this was way back in the early days. You could just plug it into the wall. But the 220 one was, like I said, it was extra 20, 30 bucks.
Yeah.
So it was absolutely worth it to.
Yeah.
How big is that? 40?
Oh, I think it's I don't know, 60 gallons, something like that.
Yeah. My dad and I painted a car with a 10-gallon one.
Like
a panel at a time. Before I knew.
Yeah. So tonight we're going over to Jim and Leslie's, and we're gonna trick or treat.
Cool.
Are you gonna wear a costume? I'm not.
No,
me neither. Yeah. Do you want candy or?
Well, yeah.
What kind of candy? Because the only candy that you're normally interested has daddy issues and works by the airport. Wait, that's not you. That's a different guy.
That's candy with an eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike and Ike's. I love Mike and Ike's.
Well, so I think my favorite's probably Reese's peanut butter cups.
Those are good. Yeah.
But I like all sorts of stuff. Anything that's got chocolate on it, I'll eat. Funny, I haven't had any Halloween candy this year.
Yeah, we remember because
That wasn't Halloween candy.
the Dangerous Brothers sent us
That was
Halloween.
just candy.
Oh, that was just candy. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I am excited
Don't make me feel bad about my
because
decisions.
in the shop today is our very good friend Steve from Maximum Guitar Works.
Uh-huh.
And he brought us some neat stuff he brought some stuff for us to have
Cool.
and to try. And he's going to come and talk about that with us.
Steve.
And he doesn't have a hat, but neither do you. It's okay.
I have a hat.
We got the memo.
So it's 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there anything else we need to talk about before Steve comes up? Steve will probably remind us of a bunch of stuff we
Sure.
we can.
That sounds like a plan. Yeah.
So let's get Steve up here.
Yay!
Come on, Steve. Everyone is excited to whoa.
What's that? What was
No,
that?
what
What's
the
that?
heck?
No, chisels keep falling
Max
off,
dropped
which is
his stuff.
horrible because then they
Ding,
fall on the
yes.
sharp thing and I have to resharpen them again, and I don't like that. So Steve, it's been a little while, it's a couple months since Steve's been here.
July?
And
July maybe?
no, it hadn't been that long, has it? Maybe. Well, anyway, so Steve, I'm glad you're here because you always have cool stuff, and today is no exception.
That's right.
So, how have you been?
I have been pretty busy.
Yeah, like as always. Yep.
Yeah, very busy. Some of my followers, which are some of your followers.
They chew the same dirt. They know. Yeah.
Cross-contaminated.
Yeah. They noticed that I probably haven't done a video in a while. It's,
Well,
my priorities are other.
you know what I always
places.
say, Steve, is that there are people who are guitar makers, and then there are people who are YouTube creators, and you are a guitar maker who happens to do some YouTube videos, just like us.
Yeah.
Then there are people who are YouTube guys who happen to be making guitars that time, and that's cool. But yeah, it's
I'll get back around to it when
Yeah.
life settles down a little bit, but I've been catching up on a lot of pre-orders of new products that I've had, and that takes a lot of time, getting that squeezed into the rest of life and all the other things, the teaching obviously that I'm doing. And
so yeah. How's that going? So you're back at the Red Rocks,
Yeah.
and you got 2 classes this year, or just the one?
just one this semester, the advanced electric guitar building, which
Okay.
is kind of cool. We focus on carved top, set necks, angled headstocks, things.
I've seen some of the stuff you guys are doing. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, and so it's just trying to broaden the horizon from the starter class, which I kind of require a Fender style,
Mhm.
guitar.
Mhm.
So it's kind of fun to do that and
Cool.
to shake out of the mold, maybe, because a lot of my videos were more Fender based, only because that's what I was teaching in school, and my videos
Yeah.
were primarily designed for my students to
Yeah.
benefit from.
Yeah.
But now I kind of get to shake out of that and do some other things and expand, my horizons too by trying different things out. So it's
Well,
kind of
you
fun.
were showing me a picture of a guitar that you were working on, and I said, "Well, is this going to be a Maximum guitar model?" And you're like, "Man, it's so cool. It really ought to be." And I absolutely agree. It's really neat.
Yeah. Thanks. It will be. It
Cool.
will be. I'm liking it a lot. All the pieces and parts of the carving and everything are coming together.
It's
So,
rad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, so everybody who knows me knows how big of a fan I am of your templates and jigs and stuff that we've been using for.
Sure.
If it's been since July, then
Yeah.
for many months. It is revolutionized the way that we. Okay, that might it is streamlined the way
Yeah,
we do stuff.
That's a good term.
I don't know if you saw, but in the last video that I did, we were using your templates. I even let everybody know that we were using them. So
Yeah.
Cool. So what do you got to show us today,
Well,
or what do you want to talk about today?
here's kind of the backstory of a couple things I designed. If we might have been visited one other time since July, because July I was in Florida on vacation and I spent.
Oh yeah, you came back after that.
Yeah, you came back
I
after that.
I spent the time in vacation designing new jigs.
They're designing stuff for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so that's what I do. But honestly, one of the jigs I designed way back then as a pre-order item, just a couple weeks ago, I finally finished my prototyping phase and I was like happy with it and I was ready to launch it. And of the 11 pre-orders that I had gotten on this particular jig, the side dot drilling jig, which is what we're going to look at here, about half have already shipped and the other half will be shipping this week.
Cool.
And I'll be finally caught up on all the pre-order sales for these things.
Well, I'm hoping that you get a bunch of orders when you get home tonight.
Well, Triddle has a question.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to read it in his voice. Maybe. Ooh, can Steve do an 80s Washburn A20 template?
Ooh, can Devin pay for an 80s Washburn template? Yeah.
We know Devin can, and today is Devin's anniversary.
Oh, that's right. Happy
and I
anniversary.
still can't believe that she married him. But,
Yeah.
You know, hey.
Yeah, he's way, he's not in her league. Yeah. Completely different integers.
He must have special skills.
We don't, but let's hope so.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know this, Christian, but we have serial number 12.
I saw.
Yeah.
Serial number 12. So the 11 were pre-ordered, and this is the 12th one off the line for the folks at Texas Toast here.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll I'm kind of getting caught on
so many chords.
So
bits and whatnot.
So the backstory on this one was I actually had one that was made out of MDF I've been using for like 6 years, and I used it in the video, and I just made a random claim that if 10 people would want to buy one of these from me if I, produce them, then I'll make them. Well, I had 11 orders. So I hit that number, we designed it, and the whole idea is it's fully adjustable for all different necks. You can loosen this and adjust this support rail, up and down at whatever angle.
Yeah, whatever the wedge of your neck.
Yeah, exactly. So that whatever neck that you have, you adjust it so the top base side of the neck is perfectly flush, or whatever side you want to drill on, but typically base side.
Do you encourage people to drill side dots before or after radiusing?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
When people ask me that question, and I guess I said it doesn't matter, then I'm going to say I like to do it after radiusing.
I do too. Yeah.
Because
so how about this? It doesn't matter if if everything goes the way you think it should go.
Yeah. But if your radius ends up taking off a little bit more than you thought, and you thought you had your dots centered, and then they end up creeping into the area close to the radius, then that's uncomfortable.
You get a better view from the edge, though.
Yeah. So this one though, it works with radius or non-radius.
Yep.
Necks that are attached to fretboards or plain fretboards.
Or plain fretboards.
Yeah.
So once you adjust that rail, then you basically loosen up the lock nuts there, and this thing slides fore and aft, and it has 3 different size holes: 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter, and 3/32.
Mm-hmm. And
they have brass bushings.
And if you're using anything besides 3/32, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. So
is that what you? I don't know. Was that what we use, right? 3/32, Chris? Okay.
Yeah. I honestly I use 2 millimeter sometimes, and I use sometimes 3 millimeters. And the only times I generally use 3 millimeters is when I'm doing like an accent ring. I'll take an accent ring of aluminum or brass, and then I'll put a 2 millimeter dot inside of that.
Neat. Okay.
So that's kind of a cool little accent thing that I sometimes will do.
I think Brandon does some of the glow in the dark stuff is different sizes.
Yep.
And
some of the glow in dark works really well in the 3 millimeter because some of them have like a black perimeter around them,
mm-hmm.
the luminolay stuff, and it works really good with 3 millimeter. So anyway, these are the 3 that I know to be kind of standard and that I have used, and I figured I'd design it to accommodate any 3.
Yeah.
And this particular one happens to be a 25/5 scale, but I have a 24/7/5 scale. I got a 25.0 scale, and I've got other scales that I will produce later when somebody wants to buy one.
So, but that would just be, you wouldn't have to get a new everything. You just get the new thing.
It's just a new template that basically one comes off, the other one goes on in the exact same spot. Mm-hmm. If it gets any smaller than 24/7/5, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do a full 24 frets with a double dot on the 24 because it's getting pretty compressed.
Steve Foligno.
Hey, Steve. I like that guy.
Yeah.
Said, made a custom body this weekend using Steve's stuffs. Got my pre-order side dot jig yesterday, number 6. I'm stoked.
Cool. I wonder who got 007. Did you keep that one for yourself?
No, I didn't even
Okay.
think about that.
Yeah.
I forget who got 007.
Colonel Brown used to always, whenever I would do, this is a dumb story. Every time we would do like a SOF thing, like a knife or something like that, that was a deal, that a logo item, he always wanted serial number 007 because I guess he thought he was James Bond. Yeah.
Yeah, I forget who got 007.
Well, maybe someone will chime in that they got 007.
Yeah.
So Chris, you already see a problem with this jig, though, right? You won't be able to blame. What was it you said?
Oh, yeah. Who am I going to blame now for crooked side dogs? You know, I'm still.
Ron Morey said, for Steve, I just received my fretboard hold down jig, and it's amazing. What craftsmanship! The easiest way to make sure my neck is clamped along its center line. Thanks.
I tell you, you guys who've used Steve's templates already know this, but if you're kind of on the fence, Steve's templates cost more than some of the other templates that you can probably find. But let me tell you, those templates are not made for people who are making guitars. They're made to look like they're made for people who are making guitars, but Steve's templates are actually for people making musical instruments.
Yeah, I don't produce anything or sell anything that I wouldn't use myself.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is I kind of figure out a solution for a problem either somebody has presented to me or that I've had before. And like, there's got to be an easier way. And I try to figure it out. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But the ones I feel like are successful, I say, okay, well, why don't I market it?
I don't have anything you bring. I'm like, well, it's going to rock because Steve does everything good. So yeah, I know it's gonna be awesome. I know you guys are gonna love it. So yeah.
And I like good materials to begin with. So I mean, Baltic birch, stability. This is 1.5 inches here. You know, nice wide base there. It's just solid. We
have a class coming up. Well, we have lots of classes coming up because we do a class every month. But we have some new stuff, and one of them is a build a fabric top. And you brought me over a new template set. What we are going to do is we'll have the classic stuff, like classic Strat and classic Telly. So you know what the routes look like on those. If you guys want anything else, it's easy to call Steve and get a custom thing made, but the index pins line up and everything, and it's totally cool. Yes, ma'am.
Mark McCauley wants to
Hi,
know,
Mark.
if I send Steve a CAD of a guitar body, can he reverse it into a jig?
Well, that is up to Steve, I guess.
Yeah,
Well, that's-
a template basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do custom templates. I do two different type of custom templates. Like for the ones I did for PJ.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they were based upon two well-known existing guitars, right? A Flying V and an Explorer. And so I did.
And okay, can I pause you right there?
Sure.
Some people have asked me, what happens if like Gibson gets a hold? You guys can make whatever guitar you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If Steve or I make that guitar and try to sell it, that's when the people like Gibson will go and slap us on the hand. But you guys can make anything you want. So if it's your guitar.
You can make anything you want if you don't sell it.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry, Steve.
Sure. So anyway, so I produced those templates with the intent that we would sell it under obviously unique names, and make that available to other people. So it's easy to kind of take that project on for a very economical way because you know.
Well, yeah, because lots of people are going to want
exactly
those things.
But for the folks who want just a one-off, this is my design and I want a good template set, then it basically I have to charge for not only all my CAD time, but also the price of the templates themselves. So yes, the answer is I could produce templates for anything, but it's just depending upon if it's something that I could market and get additional sales from. There would be less CAD charges maybe than for something that is purely for you. And it's going to be your files when we're all said and done.
Now you've got some new stuff too. The last time that you and I talked about templates, I remember you and I went out to lunch. We weren't trying to come up with new ideas. We were just like brainstorming and stuff was like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
You have one now that is like it's kind of one of these we were talking about that day came to fruition. What is it?
Yeah. So we ended up naming it the Fit All Template Series, and it was really a cool idea. And I'll be honest, a lot of times when people say, hey, I got a great idea for something that that you should build.
Yeah.
You know,
you should make this. Yeah.
My normal response is, okay. Yeah, he doesn't know anything of what he's talking about. You know, it's just,
and by the way, Steve, that's normally what people think when I say you should do it.
It's not possible. It's not practical. There's always reasons why. But when you brought up that idea, it kind of clicked and said, well, this is possible. So we designed a template set that was based on a very specific scale length for a neck pocket positioning.
Yep.
Okay. Very specific pickup locations for that scale length.
Yep.
And actually a very specific bridge. We have like 8 or 9 currently different bridges that are pre-marked for punching it with an 1/8 inch punch.
Yeah.
And it's the perfect locations for mounting those bridges. And then the beautiful thing, if you get like a triple humbucker and a triple P90 or triple single coil, you can use one off of one off of another, and you can mix and match.
And all the pins, or I'm sorry, all the templates nest onto the previous template.
Yes.
So you don't have to.
They're indexed.
Yeah.
So they're precision aligned, and even for bridges. So it's like I had a guy ordering 3 of these fit all templates.
Oh, cool. So they're already buying them?
Yeah.
Neat.
And he was going to order them all with the same bridge. And I'm like, there's no sense in ordering them all with the same bridge. Are there any other bridges that you think you might use at some point in time?
One day you might want,
and get one on each separate template. So even though this is a humbucker template and you're using P90s on your guitar, you can put in the bridge that's designed for the standard, you know, Nashville Tune-O-Matic style, you know, bridge and use that portion of the bridge.
So these are a piece of acrylic that has just the neck pocket and some other stuff, and it works with like a Fender style neck pocket, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And then you can buy the neck templates too?
Yeah, the neck templates, and we designed them all to be more telly-esque in the sense that they're flat on the heel rather than curved. Because
I like that. Yeah,
I thought that was more interchangeable.
But they're not. So are they, or are they not completely retrofittable to Telecaster necks?
They weren't designed to be that, but just so happens they are.
Oh, okay. All right.
So they're the same spec.
Cool.
In the pocket and everything. So that's perfectly fine. And we got the paddle.
So if somebody
head.
wanted to buy a neck from Warmoth or something, they could get, but they wanted to make their own body, they could do
a telly style should be a direct replacement.
Okay. So
Can't speak for all manufacturers.
So I think we skipped a big part of this. So what Steve has done is he's built a template set that you can route the neck pocket and you can route the pickup deals and you can route do the bridge holes.
Location,
And you've got the off-body alignment pins that are way off the body, and you can cut the body out whatever shape you want.
Yeah, and that was the big point. And a lot of it was driven, you know, by the potential.
My awesome idea.
Of your awesome idea, but the potential of people who are maybe building.
Yeah, they want to get into it. Yeah,
for a specific purpose or contest, or what do we call it?
The Great American Guitar Building Contest. By the way, thank you to Steve from Maximum Guitar Works for sponsoring the channel and sponsoring the Great American Guitar Building Challenge. You can find Steve's information in the description below, and we'll talk more about that. Yeah.
So the point with that is you want to build, you know, a guitar for that or any other purpose.
Yeah.
And the most critical things on any guitar for playability is going to be neck pocket, pickup, and bridge alignment.
Yeah, if you got those wrong, it's never going to jive.
Exactly. But as far as the perimeter and electronics cavities and stuff like that, it doesn't matter for playability of the guitar. Maybe ergonomics in some degree.
Yeah, it might poke you, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's not gonna affect it. So we took care of with the Fit All template series based upon Matt's idea. we took the most critical things and ensured success and gave people the creative liberties to do whatever they wanted.
It's cool, man. Yeah, it's really neat.
Yeah, so the hardened steel alignment bushings that I use that are custom ordered. Because,
same style that we use here. You can get
They have 3 on the tail end, an inch apart from each other.
So you can
you use the one that's closest to where the perimeter of your body is going to be. Okay. And then we use one that's just to the treble side of the neck pocket, which is, I can't think of too many cases other than one that you gave me one time where you're not,
I'll always be able to think of something
where you're not going to eventually cut that area away.
Yeah.
Right. So we figured that was a safe place to put it.
Oh, on the no cutaway Les Paul, I think is the one.
Yeah. So other than that guitar, every other guitar, it's going to be cut away there. So we can put that alignment pin and not affect the design of the guitar.
I think it's cool. Do you know about these, Chris? Okay. I didn't know.
I remember being
Have
there.
you been briefed?
I was there.
Yeah, during the discussion.
Uh-huh.
So, but we're also going to do a 24.75 version of that.
Like where the neck heel goes under the neck pickup and that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Well, we can do a couple different ways, but we can do like a set neck version where we have a generic set neck style templates for making the neck that would fit into a traditional set neck guitar. And again, we'd do the neck would be the templates, and then the pocket, and then the pickups and the bridges would all be set and perfect dead on.
And I cannot stress this enough. Your templates are made for guys who really want to make guitars, not like I think I might get. Yeah,
you should see some of the pictures that guys send me back.
I bet.
I mean, there's a couple of them I want to hire.
Okay.
because they're really doing some amazing work.
If you rock at
Just
building
remember,
guitars,
I get first pick on locker.
On lockers,
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yes, ma'am.
Spike
upper locker for
Frugal
Chris.
Fixer Guitars said, TTG and Steve, I sent you an idea for a neck jig. Did you think I was off my rocker? Do you know what he's talking about?
Oh, that a couple months ago?
I don't know.
I
just
get a lot of
middleman.
emails. I'm not 100% sure. I think I've seen that, Spike, but please forgive me. I can't remember.
That was that was probably from the last time that we were on the show together.
Yeah.
I don't remember the details, Spike, but I do remember that it didn't fit in line with my general system.
That's the thing. You
It does not conform.
well, that's okay. It doesn't. Yeah. It just
doesn't mean it wouldn't work, but it's just
because I think that's what Spike uses. So yeah.
It
And
conforms to his shop.
That's a real thing. So when you brought this rig over, we put one of our necks in it, and it turns out the way that we make necks,
didn't reach far
it
enough.
needed to just be a little longer. And you were like, "Oh, that's cool," because you like seeing how people do stuff because you have your own way of doing things. I have my own way of doing things, and I'm not gonna alter that.
Didn't reach
But-
far enough.
Yeah. So
So it
One of our regular necks.
one of your regular
Yeah.
necks, it
Not our fender neck?
just not quite
Oh, deep enough that way.
Yeah.
that way.
Okay.
So I'm
Yeah.
going to extend this template out an inch in the slot, the same amount, and then it'll give enough reach to get even to your thick necks, or all the way to fretboard only. So it'll have extreme flexibility as far as different necks.
we have a lot of custom things here that Steve has made kind of exclusively for us. That you just can't get.
For most people they wouldn't fall into that need, but
I have a question.
sure.
If you're doing it, if you need it just deeper, why don't you flip it over where the fretboard's on the front, and then you could make it shorter?
Well, because we like to radius the fretboard before we drill the side dots.
So it doesn't change
So then you need to have-
change the angle
You
of
need
the
to have
edges.
it flat.
Yeah, we want the
Against
flat.
flat against
Oh,
this.
okay.
I mean, you could probably
Flat till
make
it's
that
not.
work.
Yeah.
It seems like
But-
it's held together by the sides,
Yeah,
which are
and-
straight.
And also, you'd have to flip this upside down, which may or may not be conducive. I'm not sure. I haven't played
No,
around
we
with
could
that.
still use this with our neck. We wouldn't be able to use it with the rig.
Yeah.
So okay. I'm not recommending this, but could someone just buy this?
And just clamp it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they could. They have to
If they
build some
wouldn't-
sort of structure.
But that would be
what-
stupid.
Well, if you're only doing one, it would be okay. But
Get
if
the
you've
whole
got
jig.
a
Yeah.
bunch of guitars that you're doing, the way this jig works and what you were describing to me, because I'm like, oh, we could just tape it down and clamp it, and you're like, well, yeah, you could, but you could also set this up and have it just because all of our necks are the same.
Yeah.
So you could just bolt it in there and not have to redo it.
Yeah, set it on. And I use clamps. I've used like just standard quick grip type
Mhm.
clamps before. But when I redesigned this, I made the acrylic a little bit wider to accommodate 3 different sizes of side dot markers. And I needed more reach. These Irwin clamps ended up being the perfect ones where you could just
those welding ones. Yeah, those are cool.
one there, and just get it out of your way so you can still drill all of your holes, but it holds it securely in place so you make sure it doesn't shift
Yeah, totally.
on you. And it's just really as simple as just a couple of those guys. And
But I like the idea of you set it up and you do
Mhm.
a bunch of necks, and you don't keep
Yeah.
farting around with it.
Yeah, you'd set it up to the drill press. I do recommend you use a drill press. A hand drill, you probably could, but you're going to wear out the bushings a whole lot faster.
Set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really what it'd be good for, but it's adjustable enough to be able to modify for different necks.
Like a neck through?
I
You could.
don't see why a neck through wouldn't work.
Because there's no limit to
this,
the extension here, and the angle's going to be certainly within range. The width, I gave it enough where, I mean, really it could accommodate base.
Yeah.
Just need a different scale length here.
I wonder. I got an email from a fellow who, Chris, you're gonna go. Oh, why did you tell him? Why did you say maybe to this guy? He wanted because he wanted basically a Hamer reproduction.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, we're not doing a lot of custom stuff anymore, but we could do it.
Yeah.
It is a Hamer reproduction.
Yeah.
And what's your budget like? Because he wants a neck through thing and ebony and boomerang inlays and stainless steel.
Boomerang inlays.
Yeah, the whole shooting match. Yeah.
Cool.
Is this going to Australia?
No.
Oh.
I don't. Maybe I don't know. So yeah. So how many of those like kind of?
We're gonna send it to Australia, but it's just
It's gonna come back.
right back. Yeah.
Do you get a lot of
Thank you,
people that
Chris.
ask, "Hey, Steve, can you make me this for this other thing?"
Well, I probably get that right now. I probably get that request more for jigs and templates and stuff like that than I do for guitars.
Okay. What are some FAQs for Steve's templates? This would be fascinating.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is, hey, I've got this design. Can you make it into a template set?
Just like the
Because
gentleman asked. Okay.
they want my template set that has the integrated, bearing or bushing guides and stuff like that, because they like the auto alignment, functionality and stuff like that, but they just want their own shape. And yes, I can produce all of those things, and that's easy. It's just I do have to explain often, okay, this is how it would work, and this is my time frame, because I only take on a limited number of those custom projects.
But you can buy the fit all template set like right now.
Yeah.
For Fender or
Those ship within a week.
so for bolt-on neck and set neck, or just bolt-on neck, right?
Just the bolt-on right now, just
Okay.
a 25.5 scale
But
bolt-on right now.
the other one
Is coming.
okay. All right, cool.
Is coming.
So if you wanted like a crazy shape that like, oh man, I had this in high school and I really want to replicate it. It had
Mhm.
3 P90s and looked like what the fit all thing, boom.
Yeah.
There you
Now
go.
here's the thing. If you end up getting a fit all and you get this and then you kind of design the body around it to say, man, okay, I like it. This is cool. Now you can get back in touch with me and say, hey, now can you make the body template for me with this design
Okay.
I just created? Because now I want to repeat it.
Right.
So then I could create that for you. But
Okay.
the fit all kind of gets you in the right direction.
I think it's cool, man. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
I think
We-
most people would be surprised at just how similar most guitars are from nut to bridge
Yeah.
and pickup placement and all
Yep.
of that. They're not that much different
No.
from model to
even
model.
even like 25 and a half and 24 and 3/4. We were going to
Mhm.
make one of our daily drivers, but using the Challenger neck that you and it was like we laid it all out. And it was like, man, this like basically just something about the way
Mhm.
everything went together. It
Yeah,
basically just
yeah. And so
plopped
if you
right
use
in.
the fit all and then you just do your own body shape, based on a drawing or
Yeah.
whatever, you're
It's a
like
unique guitar.
98% there
Mhm.
to what you originally wanted to build.
Yep.
If you just kind of figure out which,
Yeah.
which fit all template works the best.
I think once people start using it, number
Mhm.
one, maybe doing some reviews on the website, which if you've used any of our templates or anything, your reviews are great.
Oh, I didn't know you could leave a review.
Yeah, and I've got some really cool reviews.
Nice,
you know.
okay, right
I mean,
on.
all positive, but some are just very informational as far as this
Mm-hmm.
is, hey, this is what I was able to do with it,
Mhm.
type of stuff, which is kind of cool. But I think once they get familiar with the fit all, they'll understand that this is actually a really good way to go, because it really gives you just an expansive amount of possibility to whatever the guitar is ultimately going to be.
That's
Mhm.
we basically have people do that when they come out here to our Build a Classic Fender, or Build a Classic Set Neck or something. So
we even did it. Yeah. The
Yeah.
last class was kind of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it works great. And Chris is right. There's really not a lot of difference from the nut to the bridge. It's the headstock can be whatever shape you want,
Mhm.
and the body can be whatever shape you want.
Angled headstock, straight
Whatever,
headstock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but pickup location and all of that, and getting all of that stuff in line with the bridge
Yep.
is
That's the hardest
In
part.
the last class, we kind of did that system, and everybody's stuff was pretty much cut out of a big block. And I'm like, now we have a center line, and you can put your body, your outline template on here. But really, if you wanted to turn it sideways, the guitar is still going to be a playable guitar. It's going to look dumb, but but at this point, all the important stuff is in line.
Yeah.
So
I really I commend you, Steve, because what you've done with the templates that you have, it made it. It's not, building guitars is simple. It's not easy, but you've made it a little easier and a little more repeatable for everybody, and it's remarkable. I mean, you could if you have a router from Home Depot and a chunk of wood from Dan and Calvin at Tonewood Experts. The good guys, and link in the description below. They sponsor us, so help them out. Buy from those guys. You could make something that's really, really neat. If you just wanted to make the body, you could bang that thing out in a weekend. That's a weekend project and have something really, really neat.
You could have something nice.
Hey, you could have something nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And your templates really, really make a big, big difference. So
I think it eliminates a lot of the errors that we all made as we were learning to build guitars.
Yeah, the guitar building community at large owes you a debt of gratitude.
Well, I don't know about that.
I think those mistakes are necessary, though.
Well, there's other mistakes people can still make.
Right. Well, yeah, and you know what's cool is if you learn from your own mistakes, that's a cool thing. But learning from somebody else's mistakes is even cooler.
That's a smarter way.
So you've made a bunch of stuff. I've made a bunch of stuff. And people who want to build guitars who look on YouTube and maybe they only know about guys like you and me. There were other guys who came way before us. We bought their guitars. They didn't buy ours. And they made a bunch of mistakes too. And we kind of had to relearn some of those things and go, I bet you this happened at the factory and that's why they did this. So when you start peeling that onion, and you find some of those things, but that's not what you want to do on a weekend project in your garage with a $400 piece of quilt maple.
It gets frustrating when you run into errors and expensive woods and stuff like that. It gets frustrating, and I think it could cause certain people to become disenchanted with the lore of building guitars as a hobby. And I don't think it has to. I think some of these things can be simplified where you still have a lot of control over the final product and the quality of it, but you minimize certain mistakes either through aids of jigs and templates and things like that. And it just makes it more enjoyable, I think.
Absolutely, man. I got to be honest with you. This is something that I'm looking forward to, though. I've always been like let's just wing it. And that probably terrifies you when I'm like, hey, Steve, let's wing it. No. Yeah. But you and I have a different build philosophy. But I'm really looking forward to this.
I'm kind of, believe it or not, I'm a little bit in the middle.
I would totally believe that. Yeah.
Because some things I'm like, well, let's just go make it happen.
Sure. Well, yeah.
But then other things, it's like I want repeatability, consistency, and I want as much precision as I possibly can. And so I'm straddling both of those worlds sometimes.
Yeah. Well, and you and I, your tagline is start with excellence, and mine is do it yourself if you're so smart. So yes.
So I'm going to Reader's Digest a couple of questions.
Okay.
What's the lead time on getting one of these wonderful magic side dot machines, and what is the cost?
Okay, good question.
So on our website now, which is in the link below, right?
The link
in the description.
Oh, the description.
There's a link in the description below to Maximum Guitar Works. And it'll take you right to Steve's page, and you can check it out.
So right now, you'll see it. It comes for $129, just like I'm showing you with one of the templates, and then the other.
Oh, that's cool. So you get the template too.
Yeah, and then the additional scale templates are just an additional like $30.
Okay.
For those. So that's what it is. Lead time. My normal templates I quote is like 7 days. I normally try by the end of a weekend to get the orders out. However, this requires me to produce them in blocks of at least 4. This whole setup in blocks of 4 because of my machining and the way that I'm doing it. I have to do it in groups of 4, and therefore sometimes it takes me a couple weeks to schedule the time to do that. So these have a little longer lead time.
I have a question, Steve. When you started out Maximum Guitar Works, did you ever think I'm gonna corner the market on awesome templates and jigs?
No, never. It never.
Here we are. You're like fixing to do that.
I did think parts, like the control knobs that I
Oh
made,
yeah.
and then I have a patent on. I always thought parts was going to be part of it.
Okay.
But templates, not so much. In fact, I resisted questions from people and requests to make templates for probably more than a year.
Really? Okay.
Before last December, I finally said yes to a gentleman out of Vancouver who gave me a Randy Parcells.
Good guy. Yeah.
Because his story was he was retiring, he wanted to do this, but he liked some of the safety features, like with my hold down grips on my body, routing and stuff like that. And it finally was like, why not? I have the files, I'm using them for class. Why don't I make those available to other people?
Sure.
And then it kind of took off, and I didn't know it was really going to take off.
I don't want to say I knew it was going to take off, but I knew it was going to take off. These are so awesome that, like, guys, if you, I'm going to say it again because it bears repeating. If you want to build guitars, these are the templates you want to use. The 1/8" MDF things, it's not that they suck, but they're not made for people building guitars. These are the guitar building templates. I'm not going to be surprised. Here's a prediction of mine. One day you're going to see all of this stuff at schools like Texas Toast Guitars, our Wood, Sweat, and Beers workshops, all the way to the oldest, the guys who are the longest in the tooth, Roberto Ben, where I went in the 80s. You're going to see this stuff there. I guarantee it. That's how good it is. Because it's the legit.
Yeah, I appreciate
that. Legit gear, and I'm going to do everything I can to make that happen. So yeah. So like I say, we're already using this stuff in our workshop. What do you think of the Wood, Sweat, and Beers? That's our new class thing that we call it.
Yeah. Well, I
know that you're a huge
right
drinker,
now.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big drinker. In fact, I should have a little bit more right now.
Yeah, what do you got in there? You got a vodka, and I'm going to make something up. It's going to be better than what's actually in there.
I think it's iced tea. But anyway.
It's whiskey. You could put iced tea in anything.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. So I like the concept because it sounds fun, right?
And that's what we do is we have so it's our 3 and 5 day classes, and you get to come here and build a guitar. You get to use the templates that Steve has hooked us up with, and it's everything from build a classic Fender, build a classic set neck, build a Telecaster, build a fabric top guitar, and we're using all of this stuff, and you guys can actually use it. And have we ever had anybody that didn't walk out of here with something awesome?
No.
What about Short Fat Lawyer?
Well,
Short Fat Lawyer is one of my.
He had an awesome time.
He's one of my favorite people,
awesome.
and we learned a lot because we used some of your templates, and he learned a little bit about, like, oh, maybe I need to pay more attention to how deep the truss rod slot is on some of this stuff. And we had a great time. Everybody who comes out here is super, super cool. So yeah, and like I said, Steve, I can't thank you enough for all of this really rad stuff. And you guys are gonna see this stuff everywhere in a little bit. It's fixing to blow up. I'm lucky that I got in on the ground floor, because there's gonna be a day when I can't call Steve and go, "Hey, Steve, I need this thing. I'm doing a deal for Bitterroot Guitars. I need to make a truss rod jig." You're gonna be like, "Well, Matt,
get in line.
Get in line." Yeah.
So Ryan Elias wants to know if Steve had tried the buckle rash relicking machine.
I don't know if Steve has tried.
I don't think he
that,
has.
but we can
hook him up with one. Maybe the Texas one.
Yeah, or the Queen of England one. Yeah. So we've got only a few more minutes left, guys. We'll be happy to take your questions. If you got any questions for Steve, he's here, and this is a great opportunity to hang out and talk with Steve. But we would like to thank our other sponsors. Flipside Music, the great American guitar store. Have you ever been to Flipside, Steve?
I have.
Okay, yeah. So, that's right. You know Ike and the guys.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been to the Legacy Shop.
Yes.
They've got a brand new facility that's opening up. Well, it's not all the way ready yet, but very, very soon. And Flipside Music is the coolest place to buy a guitar in Denver, and it's the biggest selection of effects pedals in the Western United States. Like, I don't care who you are. Wow. You don't have as many of these things as Flipside Music, the great American guitar store, does. So thank you to Ike and the guys there. I hope that they are doing well. I'd also like to thank John and Cheryl from Bitterroot Guitars. And John, if you're watching, Cheryl, if you're watching, I am going to work on your truss rod video this week. And maybe I'll work on one of the other videos that I promised you a little bit later on. Dan and Calvin, of course, at Tonewood Experts, formerly Guitar Wood Experts.
Yep.
You know those guys? You
Not
met Dan,
personally.
didn't you meet Dan when he was out here once?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Well, so you know, but you know what they're about. Yeah, they're cool guys. And I don't know why they had to change their name, but they changed their name to Tonewood Experts, and they really are experts in Tonewood. So, you know, they say what they do and they do what they say. And our brand newest, Steve at Maximum Guitars. Guys, if you haven't checked out Steve at Maximum Guitars, link in the description below to all of our sponsors, including Steve at Maximum Guitars.
Not like you didn't pimp me enough during the whole
We're
hour.
trying to just pimp you the whole time. I got the hat, don't I? So Steve, I really do. I love all the templates that you have. And guys, if you want to get in on some of the cool stuff that Steve has, it's all on the website, and there's more stuff coming all the time.
Yeah, and I wanted to say earlier, though, a lot of my ideas that I get that I produce aren't necessarily ideas that I came up with, but problems that other people had.
But really, my good ideas that I gave to
mostly. But beyond that, occasionally I'll get an idea from somebody. Hey, I'd really like to be able to do this. A prime example, is that truss rod carbon fiber routing jig with a handheld router.
Mm-hmm.
That was a request that I had gotten from somebody, and I said, well, do you have a router table? And he said, yeah, I have a router table, but I want to do it this way. And I'm like, I don't know why you want to do it that way, but okay, I'll make it.
Yeah.
And then I made it. And I was like, holy crap, this is easy.
So I'm going to do a video on that exact setup starting this week. So yeah. And you'll be able to see that, and you'll be able to see the cool truss rods that John and Cheryl have. But we have a new sponsor. Chris, did you know about our new sponsor?
I think I do.
Dylan McCurchie from Dylan Pickups and Dylan Talks Toned is our brand newest sponsor. And guys, if you look in the description below, you'll see a link to Dylan Pickups. It's a special link, and it's 10% off. And everything that you buy using the Texas Toast code. I think if you just go to the web, that link, it's the Texas Toast one, and you get 10% off all the Dylan stuff, which is super cool. So yeah. And Dylan's a neat guy. Have you met Dylan?
I have not.
Well, he's coming back out in May. We're going to do a month-long pickup winding thing.
Sounds good.
He's got three classes where you can wind your own pickups, and they're almost sold out. But I think there's 1 week that's available. I can't remember. But promise me you'll come out and meet Dylan, because he's a cool guy.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Love to.
Do you have SG templates on your website?
I am working on that as a custom project that is scheduled to be completed by the end of November.
Ooh, cool. Okay.
So that was an order that I got for custom that will be released to the public.
Neat.
There you go.
SG is one of my favorite Gibsons of all time. That one's going to be tricky because the neck pocket is so tiny. I'm anxious to see what you come up with for that one. That'll be a neat one.
There's always a way.
Oh yeah. Oh I know. Oh, do I ever?
Just figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Someone was reading me the riot act, because our version of the SG that we call the prostitute has a different neck geometry than the Gibson one, and they're like, that's going to never work. And I'm like, well, tell that to a bunch of the guys who bought really awesome guitars from
Why would
us.
it not work?
You know how people are on the internet. They come up with some absurd reason to bellyache about something, and So of course it works.
Yeah.
And of course it worked.
The part where it won't break.
Yeah.
Is that what won't work?
Yeah. At the heel. Yeah.
The heel. Yeah.
So, guys, if you got any other questions for Steve from Maximum Guitar Works, he is here for the next few minutes. And what other things are happening
in the world?
I don't want to know. Don't tell me.
No, in the world of Maximum Guitar Works.
Oh, okay. I was like,
stuff
I don't want to hear news. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just in the world around me right now.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that's coming out in the future. And I'm not really officially announcing it, but I do have.
Don't officially announce it, Steve. Yeah, because people are watching. They're gonna. Yeah.
So should I say it?
No, I'm no.
Okay.
Hey, Steve, have you seen our new shirts? What do you think of the?
I think they're very classy.
They're very classy. Yeah.
Christopher Cross.
Christopher Cross. No, this is the Texas Toast Cross. Some people get bent out of shape because it's upside down, but if you are familiar enough with your Catholic doctrine, yeah, that's actually a St. Peter kind of thing. Anyway, But yeah, but what, I'm not putting you on the spot for telling us new stuff, but because you can always come back and we can talk about new stuff. But what do you got that you can talk about? Because I know a little bit about that stuff you can't talk about. But,
you do know a little bit about it.
I'm not even going to tell Chris.
I tell you,
Let me be the first.
I'm getting my hands in different things, but all the things kind of just tie together with the other things that I'm doing. Things that make processes more efficient, that makes maybe a little bit more cost effective certain aspects of things that I've been doing that other people have been doing that maybe have somewhat limited choices on.
Yeah.
So is that broad enough?
Yeah, I think that's broad enough. I tell you, man, the parts, and you were saying that you gave me some stickers and they were your American Chopper.
Yeah, my look right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see these, Chris? So Steve has these stickers and he's got the kind of American Chopper kind of a flavor going there.
Man at the world look.
Those guys do a lot of, parts and things like that. I mean, for all those like kind of kooky bikes that they made 100 of the other things. And I think we're at a remarkable time for what you're going to be doing. And I'm really looking forward to what 2022 brings to Texas Toast and to Maximum Guitars too. Yeah. It's very cool.
So, I mean, you got 5 more minutes left, right?
Sure. We have as much time as we need.
What's going on with the contest?
The Great American Guitar Build Contest. I don't know, Steve. There's a lot of people saying I'm going to do it and I really want to. And so far though, no one has signed up. Now on the website, there's all the instructions and you can sign up right there.
It's very early. So people
like doing things last minute.
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. But yeah, I mean, at some point people are going to have to start signing up or I'm going to forget that it's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you forget anything.
Well, that's true too. But so you are a sponsor of the Great American Guitar Build Contest, and you have very generously offered to. I can't remember what the deal was, but it was a certain amount of money off of a template set, right?
$100 towards any templates.
Wow, cool. Okay.
So, I mean, if they want to get just a couple fit-all templates and go with it, $100 off, once I get acknowledgement that they have officially signed up.
And no one has yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I've been stocked up sort of, on extra materials, expecting some flow to come in with that. And
I don't know what
I think people forgot about the sweet deal that you made.
It's almost like getting the entry fee comped.
It's exactly like getting
by Steve at Maximum Guitars in a way. Yeah. So Gary Taft is I can see his logo, and I know that he wants to do it.
He said he's going to fill out the paperwork and send it in.
No, okay, cool. And then a bunch of people are saying Baracha, and I don't know.
Oh, there's a whole side chatter I got going on.
Oh, okay. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I would encourage people just to commit to it. It's for fun, right? It's for fun, and it's
for a big pile of cash.
And a fat stack.
Certainly can, but even if you're not the grand prize winner or whatever, there's other stuff that comes with it. But really, it's just about the community, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's about the community and the involvement and the fun and encouragement and everybody in this pursuit of guitar making, which is one of the greatest things I think you could ever do to both satisfy and to kind of scratch the itch a little bit of kind of figuring things out.
One of the things that happens at our classes, and I'm sure it happens at your classes too, and I didn't realize this was going to be a thing that did happen, but it's like guys get together after the class or even just like while they're here and they help out and they pitch in and they hang out and they make stuff and they help each other, and it really is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not trying to get all, like hippie, but it's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
But man, it really is a neat thing what people come up with and what they're, helping everybody else out. It's a neat deal.
Some of my best friends have come through relationships that have developed through guitar making.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just an incredible community, and generally speaking, most everybody is supportive of each other and encouraging of each other. Yeah, that looks awesome. Or, that's cool. How'd you do that? And it's great to have those connections. And I believe that this contest will be part of developing those future connections that guitar makers will make with other
I think so
aspiring
too.
and continuing guitar makers.
I think so too. Yeah.
So,
But as of right now, no one has actually pulled the trigger. So, but you know what? Maybe they want to wait till the first of the year. But yeah, they got like stuff.
Well, there was a comment that travel is the issue with the contest. I'm like, well, you can ship it in.
Mhm.
And then there was another, having a guitar ready is my issue. I'm like, I got no
I can't really help with
reply
that.
for that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's on you.
It's
Yeah.
June, right?
It's like even later than that. Yeah, it's several months away.
Yeah.
And it's next year. It's not like so it'll be cool. But anyway, but yeah, the guitar building community can be something that is really neat, and it doesn't have to be exclusively online. I think if you guys can find each other online, that's a great way to do it. If you can come out and take a class from Steve or from Chris and myself, you'll make friends. I guarantee it. So anyway, well, Steve, it was great to have you here. I'm glad that you're my friend and that you are doing well and maximum guitaring. That's one of my favorite things in the whole world. So yeah,
love being here.
cool, man. Well, guys, we have a Halloween holiday deal that we're going to go and do, and I'm going to try to not drink a bunch of wine because I have to get up and run tomorrow morning. So yeah. Anyway, so Chris, you have anything that you want to say to everybody before?
No.
Boogie?
Happy Halloween.
Okay.
Have
Steve,
fun.
you got anything you want?
Yeah, no, but thanks for everybody. Existing customers, man, I love you guys. The repeat customers are amazing.
Perfect.
How they just keep coming back. So I
That's
love
awesome.
you guys.
Right on. We've got a class that starts a week from tomorrow, so we're going to be really busy in the shop, and I can't wait to see all of those guys because most of them have been here at least one time, and they're all crazy cool guys, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And we've got some cool reveals coming up for Friday, and if you are in that class, I hope to see you on Friday for the reveal. If not, we'll see you a little bit afterwards if you're coming in after that. So until next time, guys, this is Matt at Texas Toast reminding you that if you're so smart, start your own YouTube channel. Yeah. And if you really want to build your own guitar, check out Steve at Maximum Guitar Works and all of our other sponsors. They make building guitars fun. And so we'll see you guys later this week. Have a good one.